Hi everyone, I'm Lewis, welcome to Lewis's Football Mind. Today's video I'll be doing my Newcastle Liverpool Combined 11. So this could get controversial, could be very interesting, and hopefully you guys agree with my team. I have been trying to make it as reasonable and as fair as possible, but this is my opinion, and if you don't agree then I am sorry, but don't be too hard done by. So let's get started with the goalkeeper, and this one is straightforward, Alisson Becker. It's so easy to pick Alisson over Pope. Alisson for me is the best goalkeeper in the world. But if you're gonna debate for two keepers, you can't debate Pope is better than Alisson. There's just no debate there. Alisson is absolutely sensational. The save he made against Newcastle the other week was unbelievable, and that probably could be save of the season unless we see something much better than that save, which is nearly impossible. The only John Pickford made a fantastic save against Sheffield United, but I still think Arsenal's save was better. But what a save! If that was, I think it would have been 2-0 down at that point if Alisson didn't save that. So, and that would have been game over. Newcastle would have won that game if that Almiron volley went in. So Alisson saved Liverpool. Last season when Liverpool weren't as good, Alisson saved us. He's the best 1v1 shot stopper in the world. Obviously Gordon did score 1v1 against him, but most of the time Alisson is the best at 1v1s in the world. But all round Alisson's better keeper than Pope. I think Pope is a very good shot stopper. Really good shot stopper. He can make some really good saves, but with his feet he looks vulnerable. He just doesn't look calm on the ball. When you see Pope on the ball, you do look, you're like, oh, he could do something bad here. Most of the time, 99% of the time, Alisson, you think, oh, Alisson's dealing with that fine. You feel relaxed, you feel calm. The defence is organised with Alisson there. I think Liverpool's defence isn't as good as it used to be. Nowhere near as good as it used to be, especially when we won the league. But Alisson has saved us so many times, and that is why I think he's better goalkeeper. But I don't think Nick Pope is a world class goalkeeper. World class goalkeepers can use their feet well. They can kick the ball far. They can be calm on the ball. They can start play up. Nick Pope, he just doesn't look calm doing that. But shot stopping wise, he's a fantastic goalkeeper. But Alisson Becker is a better goalkeeper in my opinion. So next up, right back, and this one was hard. It was hard to pick this player over this other player, but I've been fair and I've went for the better all-round right back, and I've went for Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier is a very good right back, all round fantastic, really good leader, very organised in the Newcastle team. Has a calm presence on him, and goes forward a lot, has a lot of good crosses on him, really good at free kicks, really good at corners. So all round he's a fantastic right back. Trent Alexander-Arnold is still a brilliant right back in my opinion. I just don't think he gets help. Sometimes I feel like he is a bit vulnerable on his own sometimes. I feel like Salah doesn't help as much as Almiron does at times. So I'm not saying Trent I'm not saying it's Salah's fault. I'm just saying sometimes Trent is a bit vulnerable at right back, because he hasn't got any protection with him. Sometimes the right Kanate comes across, but I still think sometimes he looks a bit vulnerable on his own, Trent Alexander-Arnold. But still, I think Kieran Trippier is much better defensively than Trent. But Trent Alexander-Arnold crossing, shooting, how he gets forward, how he cuts inside the midfield in that inverted fullback role is unbelievable. And he had a brilliant display against Aston Villa. Some balls over the top were absolutely phenomenal. So that is what Trent Alexander-Arnold offers. But all round right back, I think Kieran Trippier is better. So the first centre back, I'm going for Virgil van Dijk. Yeah, this one is controversial, but has he been as good as he used to be? No. But I still think he is a world class centre back. He's just experience. his calmness. You know, I think he has been a bit rash at times this season, like the Isak incident. Um, a few years ago, Van Dijk would let Isak take him on, and Van Dijk would clear it. But now he just rushes a little bit, and he just doesn't look as calm as he used to be. So yeah, is he as good as he used to be? No, but I still think he definitely one of the best centre backs in the world still, and still definitely good enough to start for Liverpool. But I think Ibrahima Konate is definitely learning off him. I think Ibrahima Konate is definitely gaining stuff off Van Dijk, but I think eventually Konate could be better. But Konate and Van Dijk together work really well. But yeah, Van Dijk isn't as good as he used to be, definitely not. But he is still a fantastic centre back and definitely deserves to be in this team. Fabian Shaw, yeah, Fabian Shaw's a fantastic player too. Gets forward a lot, has a good shot on him, but I can't put him over Van Dijk. So the next centre back I've went for Sven Botman. Very tight. This is so close. Kanate or Botman. It's so hard to decide this one. I am trying to be fair here. I'm trying to make it as balanced as possible. I think last season Botman had an unbelievable season. He was one of the best centre backs in the Premier League, and that's why I put him in this starting eleven. Newcastle's defence hasn't been great this season. No, they haven't been as organised, but I still think Sven Botman is a really fantastic footballer, really young as well. Definitely going to be a starter in that Dutch national team coming up after his injury. I think in the future he will be the starting centre back in that Dutch national team. Could even be captain in the future. He's definitely got that potential, but yeah, Konate, he's really good. Konate's improved so much and since he came to Liverpool. His first year, you could tell he wasn't like up to Van Dijk's level. He looked shaky a bit, but now I think Konate and Van Dijk are quite matched together. Um, I still prefer Van Dijk over Konate, but Konate, he's young, he's fast, he's strong, he's energetic. He's got so many good attributes and he's just improving all the time. He is injured a bit, which is a problem for Liverpool, but when he's fit, he's a fantastic centre back. But this one was so close, and I just put Botman over Konate because of the season Botman had last year. So left back, this one's pretty straightforward. Andy Robertson hasn't been as good as he normally has been, but still, he's still unbelievable. I think he has struggled actually with Trent going into that inverted fullback role. I think he has struggled a little bit, but Andy Robertson's still one of the best fullbacks in the world for me, but one of the best left backs. He's definitely up there still. The price we got him for under £10 million. Under £10 million. It's one of the best bargains of all time, in my opinion. Um, Except free transfers. Forget free transfers for just a transfer fee around 8 million for Andy Robertson. Seriously, that is absolutely unbelievable, and nobody can debate that is a bargain. Came from home around 2017, and at the time we're a bit unknown, but I don't think anyone thought Andy Robertson would become the fullback he did, and he's still world class for me. Definitely a better left back than Dan Burn. No disrespect to Dan Burn, but you're not Andy Robertson level. So that one was pretty straightforward in the left back position. Onto the midfield, and I went for Sandro Tonali, Newcastle's new signing for around £55 million, around that fee from AC Milan. And Sandro Tonali, he's fitted in so quickly. People were thinking it might take a while for him to settle in the league, but I think he's done very well in the first few games for Newcastle. I thought he was probably their best player against Brighton, even though Newcastle were absolutely shambolic, which you don't say about Newcastle often anymore. But I think Sandro Tonali, there is no debate, he's fantastic. One of the best signings of the summer at a really, really good price as well. I'd rather Tonali for £55 million than Caicedo 115 million any day of the week. But yeah, there was a few things I noticed against Brighton. When Gilmore shot, he didn't really press go to the ball and block it as much as I would have liked to see from a midfielder. He should have done better there, but otherwise, I think scoring on his debut against Aston Villa, he just fit into that Newcastle midfield really well. Next midfielder, I've went for Bruno Guimaraes. Yeah, I have heard a lot of scrutiny from him this season from the Newcastle fans that he should be dropped. That he is a scapegoat and stuff like that. But I still think he's a fantastic midfielder. Really good. He hasn't been at it this season, no, but you can't forget the season he had last year. Unbelievable. One of the best midfielders in the Premier League for me, in my opinion, on his day. But after the international break, he has to have. I'm not sure if he's in the Brazil squad. I'll have to check. But after the international break, he does need to wake up a little bit and get going again. But I know a lot of people have been saying he should be dropped. But just have to wait and see. But no doubt Bruno Guimaraes is in this team because he is a brilliant footballer and was one of the best midfielders in Premier League last season. It was really hard not to put McAllister in. Really, really hard. It was, I think, a really, really solid price we got McAllister for, around 35 million for a World Cup winner, and only 24. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant price to get him for. But this was really hard. I think even McAllister, I think he had around 10 goals last season for Brighton. He had an unbelievable season last year. I think it was so hard not to put McAllister in. I am just trying to be fair, trying to be balanced in a way. But McAllister, I think he's done well for Liverpool. He hasn't been brilliant, but obviously he's been a bit of out of position because we didn't get a number 6 in straight away. But I think he's done a really solid shift for Liverpool so far. And when he pushes forward a bit more, you can see the talent that McAllister has. So it was really hard not to put him in this team. But yeah, it was hard. But Bruno Guimaraes had a fantastic year last year, but so did McAllister. So that's why it was a really hard decision between them two. Next one, Dominic Clozoby. Wow. Can we just talk about this guy? He has been phenomenal so far this season. I think he's been Liverpool's best player so far this season. Obviously Alisson's had a brilliant start. Salah's got a goal contribution, a goal or assist in the last I think it's 10 or 15 Premier League games, which is unbelievable. But I have went for obviously I think Dominic Sotomayor has been our best player so far this season. On his debut against Chelsea, I thought he was brilliant coming into that team. Obviously, he didn't have a number 6. At times, he couldn't go as forward as he wanted to, but this lad has got talent. The goal he scored against Aston Villa, the technique, the accuracy, was absolutely phenomenal. So this guy has got talent. Yeah, against Bournemouth as well, he ran the show. Newcastle, I thought he was really professional. Really did well under the circumstances as well. And then against Aston Villa, he ran the show. He was my man of the match against Aston Villa, and that goal was absolutely unbelievable. One of many goals for Liverpool. But this guy, 60 million. 60 million is such a good price for a player like this. So young as well, got so much potential, and he's just going to get better. He could be the best midfielder in the Premier League in the next few years, especially as De Bruyne is getting older and he's getting a few injuries. But I still think he is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, Dominic Sotomayor, or he will be by the end of the season. Obviously, there is a few midfielders who I think are better, obviously Premier League proven, but this guy is definitely going to fit in at Liverpool, and he already is fitting in at Liverpool. He's just going to get better and better. So there's no way I could put Joe Linton over Dominic Sotomayor. I think Joe Linton has done superb. Obviously Eddie Howe coming in, getting put in midfield from the wing. I think one of the greatest comebacks from a player I've seen in a long time. So I think he has to be proud of himself. I think he is a very good player, but I can't lie. Dominic Clotterby is better. So we'll go to left wing first. Gordon, Barnes or Diaz. This was quite easy. I won for Luis Diaz, obviously. Harvey Barnes. I think Harvey Barnes was the next closest for me. I think Gordon started every game over Barnes, but I think Barnes obviously is really good. I think Anthony Gordon's a very good player as well. Very quick, score against Liverpool, very composed finish. But you can't deny Newcastle fans just can't say that Gordon and Barnes are better than Luis Diaz because they're not. Luis Diaz is unbelievable footballer. It'll be interesting to see how he does this season. I did put him as my want to watch player for Liverpool because it is the first full season that he will be fit as a Liverpool player if he stays fit. Alright, 2 goals so far this season, so he's had a really good start to the season. He looks quick, he looks composed, he loves going against players, he's dribbling, he's one of the best dribblers in the Premier League. Him and Kamatoma are very similar players, in my opinions. They kind of play similar to each other. So if I have to Brighton Liverpool combine 11, that'll be a bit more of a debate with Toma. Diaz, I think they are similar players, but I think Diaz is better than Barnes and Gordon, and definitely in this combined 11. Next up is right wing, and again, no debate, no debate. Almiron obviously had that patch before the World Cup where he was one of the best players in the league. He was scoring for fun, but after the World Cup, he just wasn't really the same player. But you cannot not put Mo Salah in this team. Mo Salah is underrated. He is underrated. People actually think I know people who actually want to debate Almiron v Salah. Mo Salah is one of the best players in the Premier League and one of the best players in the world. There is no debate. 139 Premier League goals, I believe. Around 139 Premier League goals. That's the most by any Premier League player since he came to back to the Premier League in 2017-18 season. The closest player was Harry Kane with 135. But wow, Mo Salah is unbelievable. Obviously, Saudi Arabia could be putting a record £250 million bid in before the transfer window shuts in Saudi Arabia, which would be a massive blow for Liverpool. If I was going to sell him now, because we can't replace him until January, and if we sell Mo Salah now, our season could be affected so much. Because without Mo Salah, Liverpool cannot put a title challenge in my opinion. But if we keep Salah, we'll start the season really well. I think we can put a good title challenge in with Manchester City. Maybe not win it, but we can definitely push City like we did a few years ago. But you just can't ignore how good Mo Salah is. £250 million. You don't put a bid in for a player who isn't good, who isn't Premier League proven, he's just world class Mo Salah. And 5th all-time goal scorer for Liverpool. It just shows how good he is, and I think he should stay. I don't think next season he could be gone. I think Saudi Arabia, if we don't sell him this summer, I think they'll be back next summer with around that 200 million mark, especially if he has a good season for Liverpool. I think he could be gone next season. Hopefully not, but hopefully he stays. Hopefully he stays for this season at least, because he is world class. I can just talk about him all day. He is the Egyptian king, and definitely in this combined 11. Striker, this one's difficult, right? I've put Isak. Obviously Nunes had that unbelievable game where he came on, he changed the game, he won the game for Liverpool against Newcastle, which was unbelievable. One of the greatest moments of my life watching that. But even though that game he missed chances against Aston Villa. He missed a lot of chances against Aston Villa. He played really well, got 2 assists, but he missed chances. Even if he scored a hat trick against Aston Villa, I think Isak is better than Nunes right now. Right now, maybe end of the season. If I do this again start next season, I think it could be different if Nunes has a good year. But right now, Isak is a very good player. For me, he's the second or third best Premier League striker behind Erling Haaland because I think he's really good dribbler. When he plays, I think he looks really dangerous, really quick, got a really good shot on him, really good dribbler. He changes the game for Newcastle. I did notice against Brighton though, he did really. I thought he was unlucky because he made some really good runs down the flank and then he cut inside the box and no Newcastle midfielders were there. And you're thinking somebody should be there. If a midfielder's there, if Tonali, Bruno, Joe Linton's there, for example, they're probably going to bury it in the back of the net, and that would have helped Newcastle that game. So I think Isak was unlucky because he was quite isolated at times. But if you give Isak the support, then he's a fantastic player. And 60 million, around 60 million for Isak last season, I believe. And then that's a really solid price. And Newcastle could get a lot more for him now, in my opinion. So there we go. There is my combined 11. Quite fair. 6 Liverpool players, 5 Newcastle players. I think that's quite balanced, quite fair. A few areas where it could have been debate. For example, Botman, Kanate, that's quite a close one. I think Bruno Guimaraes, McAllister's quite a close one as well. But Trippier, Trent as well, quite close. But I think I'm happy with the decisions I've made, and hopefully you guys are happy with them too. But message me if you agree. Message me if you disagree. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.